Good day, my name is Gregory, and today we will be looking at Unit 14 in the new Headway Plus Elementary book. The title of Unit 14 is Have You Ever? And the sorts of things we'll be looking at are present perfect plus ever, never, yet, and just, and at the airport. So to start with, match the countries and the flags. We have Morocco, Brazil, France, Egypt, Germany, Great Britain, the USA, United Arab Emirates, Italy, Japan, Canada, and Saudi Arabia. Which of these flags go with these countries? Write the names underneath the flags. And if you've done that, let's have a look. We have Egypt, Italy, Saudi Arabia, France, Brazil, Japan, Germany, Great Britain, the USA, United Arab Emirates, Morocco, and Canada. Did you get those? I certainly wouldn't have. Not all of them. This section, in my life, present perfect plus ever and never. Read and listen to the sentences. Then, listen and repeat. So, listen.
Unit 14. Tape script 14.1.
I've been to Morocco. I haven't been to France. I've been to the USA. I've never been to Egypt. I haven't been to any of the countries.
Okay? And practice saying those sentences. Work with your partner and say them to him and allow your partner to say them back to you. Next section, read and listen to this conversation and practice with a partner. Listen.
Tape script 14.2.
Have you ever been to Paris?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever been to Berlin?
Yes, I have.
When did you go?
2 years ago.
Practice with your partner, and I really suggest you do this. Practice asking and answering the questions and change the questions a bit. So instead of have you ever been to Paris, you can say have you ever been to Dubai? Have you ever been to the UAE? And so on. Practice asking and answering the questions. Each of you take turns with those. Here we have postcards of various places. Melbourne. And here we have Budapest and Lisboa. Write down the names of 4 cities in your country or another country that you have been to. Have similar conversations with your partner. Tell the class about your partner. For instance, Maria has been to Tunis. Maria's equals Maria has. She went there 2 years ago. But she hasn't been to Marrakesh. She's never been to Marrakesh. She's being abbreviation for she has. Let's take a look at the grammar spot. We use the present perfect to talk about experiences in our lives. Have you ever, at any time in your life, been to Paris? We use the past simple to say exactly when something happened. When did you go to Paris? I went there last year. I went there 2 years ago. I went there in 1998. So past simple, you can say exactly when something happened. Whereas with the perfect tense, you do not say exactly when something happened, just that something at some stage in the past did happen. We make the present perfect tense with has and have plus the past participle. Complete the table. I, you, we, they, been to Paris. He, she, it, been to Paris. Completed? Let's check. I, you, we, they have been to Paris or haven't been to Paris. He, she, it has been to Paris, hasn't been to Paris. So for I, you, we, they, we use have and haven't. For he, she, it, we use has and hasn't. Write ever and never in the right places in these sentences. Are you, we, they, and he, she, it, been to Paris? Done? Let's check your answers. Has he ever been to London? He's never been to London. Are you, we, they have been to Paris? He, she, it has been to Paris. Are you, we, they haven't been to Paris? He, she, it hasn't been to Paris. And then the last one, which you've just looked at the answer. Has he ever been to London? He's never been to London. Okay, let's have a look at the grammar reference on page 134, 14.1. And here we are looking at present perfect. The present perfect refers to an action that happened some time before now. She's traveled to most parts of the world. Have you ever been in a car accident? If we want to say when these actions happened, we must use past simple. She went to Russia 2 years ago. I was in a car crash when I was 10. So, present perfect for something that happened at some stage in the past, undefined. And simple tense, if we want to say exactly when something happened, the past simple. Notice the time expressions used with the past simple. I left last night, yesterday, in 1990, at 3 o'clock on Monday. Positive and negative. I, you, we, they have not been to the States. He, she, it has or has not been to the States. I've been equals I have been. You've been means you have been. We've been, we have been. They've been, they have been. He's been, he has been. She's been, she has been, and it's been, it has been. Question. Where have I, you, we, or they been? And where has she, he, it been? With I, you, we, they, we use have. And with she, he, it, we use has. And then we have yes, no questions. Have you been to Russia? Answer is yes, I have, or no, I haven't. Short answers. And ever and never. We use ever in questions and never in negative sentences. Have you ever been to Russia? I've never been to Russia. Okay? Let's go back. Practice. Past participles. Here are the past participles of some verbs. Write the infinitive. So eaten, infinitive, is eat. What about these others? Fill in the blanks with the infinitives of the words given. All done? Then let's check our answers. Eaten, eat. Seen, see. Met, meet. Drunk, drink. Flown, fly. Made, make. Taken, take. Driven, drive. Cooked, cook. Bought, buy. Given, give. Won, win. Had, have. Stayed, stay. Done, do. How did you do with those? Which are the two regular verbs? What are the past simple forms of the verbs? And look at the list of irregular verbs on page 142 and check your answers. So which are the two regular verbs? The two regular verbs are cook and stay. Past simple form of the verbs? Well, write down what you think. And let's move along. The life of Ryan. Listen to Ryan talking about his life and tick the things he has done. So Ryan's going to be talking to us. Tick the things that he has done. These are all the things that are possible.
Tape script 14.3.
Yes, I've lived in a foreign country. In Japan, actually. I lived in Osaka for a year. I enjoyed it very much. I loved the food. And yes, I have worked for a big company. I worked for Nissan, the car company. That's why I was in Japan. That was 2 years ago. Then I got another job. Have I stayed in an expensive hotel? No, never. Only cheap hotels for me, I'm afraid. But I have flown in a jumbo jet. 4 or 5 times, actually. Oh, I've never cooked a meal for a lot of people. I love food, but I don't like cooking. And I've never met a famous person. Oh, just a minute. Well, not met, but I've seen, I saw a famous politician at the airport once. Oh, who was it? I can't remember his name. I've driven a tractor, though. I had a holiday job on a farm when I was 17. I enjoyed that. Good news, I've never been to hospital. I was born in hospital, of course, but that's different. Bad news, I've never won a competition. I've never ever won a thing.
Okay, did you manage to tick off all the things that Ryan has done? Let's check your answers. He's lived in a foreign country, he's worked for a big company, he has flown in a jumbo jet, and he has driven a tractor. He hasn't done any of the other things. And now, why don't you as a student put a tick next to the things that you have done in your life? So, moving along. A honeymoon in London. Present perfect plus yet and just. Rod and Madeline come from Auckland, New Zealand. They are on honeymoon in London. Before they went, they made a list of things they wanted to do there. Read the list below. Things to do. Go to Buckingham Palace, see the Houses of Parliament, have a boat ride on the River Thames, go on the London Eye, walk in Hyde Park, go shopping in Harrods, see the crown jewels in the Tower of London, travel on a double-decker bus, and go to the Ritz. Marilyn is phoning her sister Judy back home in New Zealand. Listen to the conversation. Tick the things that she and Rod have done. So listen and tick off the items that she tells her sister that they have done.
Tape script 14.4.
We're having a great time.
Tell me about it. What have you done so far?
Well, we've been to Buckingham Palace. That was the first thing we did. It's right in the centre of London. We went inside and looked around.
Have you seen the Houses of Parliament yet?
Yeah, we have. We've just had a boat ride on the River Thames, and we went right past the Houses of Parliament. We saw Big Ben. Then we went on the London Eye. That's the big wheel near Big Ben. That was this morning. This afternoon, we're going to take a taxi to Hyde Park and then go shopping in Harrods. Tomorrow morning, we're going to see the crown jewels in the Tower of London.
Wow, you're busy. And what about those big red buses? Have you travelled on a double-decker bus yet?
Oh, yeah. We took one when we went to Buckingham Palace. We sat upstairs. You get a great view of the city.
Tomorrow's your last night. What are you going to do on your last night?
Well, we're hoping to go to the Ritz, but we haven't booked it yet.
You're so lucky. Give my love to Rod.
Yeah. Bye, Judy. See you soon.
So, were you able to tick off the things that she has done? Do you think you got all of them? And do you think you got them right? Let's check. They've been to Buckingham Palace. They have seen the Houses of Parliament. They have had a boat ride on the River Thames. They have gone on the London Eye. And they have travelled on a double-decker bus. So far, they have not done the rest of the things on her list. And there's a beautiful picture of London. There's the Eye, there's Big Ben, there's the Thames. Stunning picture. Let's have a look at this grammar spot. Complete the sentences. Have you the crown jewels yet? We been to the Ritz yet? And we've just a boat ride on the Thames. Fill in the gaps. And if you've done that, let's check the answers. Have you seen the crown jewels yet? We haven't been shopping in Harrods yet. And we've just had a boat ride on the Thames. Number 2 is different. We haven't been to the Ritz yet. Number 2. Where do we put yet in a sentence? Where do we put just in a sentence? We can only use yet with 2 of the following. Which 2? Positive sentences, questions, or negative sentences. 2 of those we can use yet. Let's check your answer. Yet comes at the end of a sentence and just comes before the past participle. And we can use yet only in questions and negative sentences, not in positive sentences. For instance, I have not been there yet, or have you done your work yet? A positive sentence, you would not use yet. Now, let's have a look at page 134, 14.2. Yet and just. We use just in positive sentences. We use yet in negative sentences and questions. Have you done your homework yet? I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. I have just done it, a short time before now. Been and gone. Okay, that's the next section. So we use just in positive sentences and yet in negative sentences and questions. Let's move along. Look at the list with a partner and say what Rod and Marilyn have done and what they haven't done yet. They've travelled on a double-decker bus. They haven't seen the crown jewels yet. What else have they done and what have they not done yet? Listen again.
Tape script 14.4.
We're having a great time.
Tell me about it. What have you done so far?
Well, we've been to Buckingham Palace. That was the first thing we did. It's right in the centre of London. We went inside and looked around.
Have you seen the Houses of Parliament yet?
Yeah, we have. We've just had a boat ride on the River Thames, and we went right past the Houses of Parliament. We saw Big Ben. Then we went on the London Eye. That's the big wheel near Big Ben. That was this morning. This afternoon, we're going to take a taxi to Hyde Park and then go shopping in Harrods. Tomorrow morning, we're going to see the crown jewels in the Tower of London.
Wow, you're busy. And what about those big red buses? Have you travelled on a double-decker bus yet?
Oh, yeah. We took one when we went to Buckingham Palace. We sat upstairs. You get a great view of the city.
Tomorrow's your last night. What are you going to do on your last night?
Well, we're hoping to go to the Ritz, but we haven't booked it yet.
You're so lucky. Give my love to Rod.
Yeah. Bye, Judy. See you soon.
Okay. So now you know everything that they have done and everything they haven't done. Practice. I've just done it. Work with a partner and make questions with yet and answers with just. Have you done the washing up yet? Yes, I've just done it. And then make questions with the rest of these. Do the shopping, wash your hair, and so on. What are the questions with yet and answers with just? And if you've completed that, let us check your answers. Have you done the shopping yet? Yes, I've just done it. Have you washed your hair yet? Yes, I've just done or washed it. Have you cleaned the car yet? Yes, I've just done it or cleaned it. Have you made the dinner yet? Yes, I've just made it. Have you met the new student yet? Yes, I've just met him or her. Have you had coffee yet? Yes, I've just had one. Have you given your homework to the teacher yet? Yes, I've just given it to him or her. Have you finished the exercise yet? Yes, I've just finished it. So you're getting the hang of this, when to use yet and just. Yet implies that you are about to do something. Have you done it yet? Tick the correct sentence. In each of these pairs of sentences, one is correct, one is not correct. So go through them and put a tick next to the correct sentence. If you finish that exercise, let's check your answers. Number 1, I saw John yesterday. Number 2, note, both are possible here. Did you ever eat is common in American English. So, did you ever eat Chinese food? Have you ever eaten Chinese food? So in America, they may say, did you ever eat? Number 3, Donna won 10,000 pounds last month. Number 4, I've never drunk Japanese tea. Number 5, Tom has never been to America. Number 6, have you had the interview yet? Number 7, I haven't finished my homework yet. And number 8, has she just bought a new car? How did you do with those? Did you get them all right? If so, well done. And let's move along. Reading and speaking. Working with your partner, ask and answer the questions, then compare answers with others. Have you ever walked a long way? Possibilities are never, once or more, and then you can ask when, where, and who with. This is a very useful exercise because it gives you a chance to really practice your English and think for yourself in English. Have you ever cycled a long way? Have you ever ridden a motorcycle? Have you ever hitchhiked, thumbed a lift? Have you ever ridden a horse? Have you ever ridden in a horse and cart? So work with your partner and take turns at asking and answering these questions. These words are in the texts. Translate them. A gun, a hearse, a locust, a tornado. Answer the questions. Okay, first, read about Tudor Bowen Jones and Josie Dew. Tudor Bowen Jones is going to spend his 90th year doing what he loves best, hitchhiking. Tudor, a retired teacher from South Wales, has spent 60 years hitchhiking all over the world. He is now on his 7th passport and wants to be in Vienna when he turns 90. Tudor's first journey abroad was to France and Belgium in 1947. Now he likes to make 2 or 3 journeys a year, but he has never learned to drive. Tudor says, I started hitchhiking around Britain in the 1940s when I didn't have any money. It was the only way to travel. I've been to 40 countries and I think it's an excellent way to visit places and meet people. People are usually very surprised when I tell them what I am doing. His journeys have taken him across Europe, the Middle East, and South America. And he has taken all kinds of interesting lifts. He has taken all kinds of interesting lifts. He has hitchhiked with a horse and cart in Hungary, ridden a motorbike across Egypt, sat in the back of a hearse in France, and enjoyed the comfort of a Rolls-Royce in Germany. The longest he has waited for a lift is 12 hours. Once, a driver took out a gun. Tudor was frightened, but the driver cleaned the gun and put it back again. Tudor says that hitchhiking is not dangerous if you are careful. He has made friends all over Europe. They come and visit him in his little home in Wales. I'm always going to hitchhike, Tudor says. Then, let's read about Josie Dew. When Josie Dew was young, she fell out of a car, so she never learned to drive. She was still at primary school when she decided she wanted to travel. So when she was 11, she decided to go for long bike rides and cycled 40 or 50 miles every day. Josie says, "The only good thing about secondary school was cycling there and back. I left when I was 16. I love cooking, so I started a business. I cooked 3-course meals and delivered them by bike. In 1985, as soon as I had some money, I cycled to Africa and back." Josie has been to 40 countries and has had all kinds of interesting experiences. She has cycled through the Himalayan mountains in Nepal, then down into India. She has cycled through millions of locusts in the Moroccan deserts. She has traveled through tornadoes in the USA. She was in Romania when someone killed President Ceausescu. She wants to go to Egypt, but she hasn't been there yet. She has sometimes traveled with friends and even her mother, but she has often cycled alone. She had only one really frightening experience. A dog attacked her in Bulgaria. In 1997, she hurt her knee very badly, so she started writing books about her journeys. She's written 5 books now, and she's on her bike again. At the moment, she's planning to cycle around New Zealand. So, on to the questions. First with Tudor Bowen Jones. Does he have a job? How does he like to travel? Go through all 10 questions and answer first about Tudor Bowen Jones, and then answer all 10 questions about Josie Dew. Okay, if you're done, let's check your answers. These are the answers for Tudor Bowen Jones. Check your answers against these. And then let's check the answers for Josie Dew. These are the answers for Josie. Compare them with your answers. How did you do with those? Did you get them right? All the questions and answers come from those paragraphs. And what do you think? Would you like to travel like Tudor or Josie? Why or why not? Do people cycle a lot or hitchhike in your country? Why or why not? What's your favorite way to travel? Why? Ask and answer these questions with your partner. And when you answer, use complete sentences in your answers. It's important. Then we come to vocabulary and pronunciation. And this section is entitled, Why Did You Leave? And work with your partner. Match the question, words and answers. What, where, when, why, who, how, which, and whose. Complete the questions to suit the answers. There are the answers. Nobody, because I needed a holiday. Last September. Spain. A suitcase, a small brown one. It's mine, by boat. And if you've completed those, let's check your answers. What? A suitcase. Where? In Spain. When? Last September. Why? Because I needed a holiday. Who? Nobody. How? By boat. Which? The small brown one. Whose? It's mine. Read the poem, Why Did You Leave? It has lots of questions in it. Who do you think is asking the questions, and who is answering them? What is the poem about? Possible answers. Possibly a parent, a mother or father, or it could be a sister or brother, even a good friend. It is definitely someone who has been left behind at home. They say, when are you coming home? It's someone who is concerned and trying to understand the other person's motives for leaving. Who is answering them? Someone who has left home, a son or daughter who feels they are too old to continue living at home in the place they grew up. Perhaps he or she has gone to university or will look for a job in a town far away. What is the poem about? What is the poem about? It's about the need that some young people feel to get away from the place they've grown up in, where everybody knows them. Sometimes they want to start a new life somewhere else. It can include the search for a new identity, trying to find out who you really are, instead of just following the other person's ideas of who you are. Write down some more verses for the poem. Complete these lines. And let's listen.
Tape script 14.5.
Why did you leave?
When did you leave?
I left with the leaves in autumn.
When did you leave?
I left when the time was right.
Where have you gone?
To a busy, crowded city.
Where have you gone?
To a place where I'm not known.
What did you take?
Just clothes and books of poetry.
What did you take?
Mostly memories and hope.
How did you travel?
By plane, by bus and taxi.
How did you travel?
On my own. I need to be alone.
Why did you leave?
Because I have grown up now.
Why did you leave?
Because birds must fly the nest.
When are you coming home?
When I have become someone.
When are you coming home?
I don't know. Just let me go.
Okay, and that is where we will end today's lesson. I hope you've got something useful out of it, and I hope you continue to improve in your English. Thank you.